Right now on 12 News at 10, breaking news. An Arizona woman who vanished last week is found alive. The major development in the search that led to her rescue. A Scottsdale man shot and killed by police while standing on the roof of his home.
I saw him unravel.
Tonight, his family opens up about the mental health issues he was facing. Weather alert, brace yourselves for a roller coaster of a forecast as we say goodbye to perfect temperatures and hello to some much needed rain. Celebrating the life of a civil rights icon.
Fighter for equal right.
The important meaning and message behind MLK Day. 12 News at 10 starts right now. And we begin with breaking new developments in the search for a missing Santan Valley woman. Search and rescue crews found 28-year-old Jessica Goodwin alive just hours ago on the Gila River Indian community. Team 12's Erica Stapleton is live in the East Valley where family members are anxious to see her again. Erica?
Hey, Mitch, we know Jessica Goodwin was airlifted to the hospital in the East Valley in critical condition, but she has been responsive and her family is expecting her to pull through after being missing in the desert for 6 days.
She's alive! She's alive. I mean, we want to tell everybody.
She's alive. Raw relief.
She's okay. She's responding.
After nearly a week of roller coaster emotions for Jessica Goodwin's family.
As long as she's alive, we're okay.
One of her aunts and sisters getting as close as they can to the spot where she was finally pulled to safety.
I think we're going to have to just never, ever let her
out of our sight again.
Jessica disappeared January 11th after going to a car wash in Queen Creek. Her car was found 3 days later by a dead-end road 10 minutes from the car wash. Jessica was nowhere to be found until search crews used phone records to help find her on the Gila River Indian community, south of Santan Valley, alone.
She's a fighter. We can tell that she's a fighter. She survived this long, so she can get through anything.
Just hours before this, her family wasn't so sure.
I love you, Aunt Jess. I love you, Aunt Jess.
Dozens of relatives and friends pouring in from around the state to help. Her mother desperate for any sign of life.
We want you back home, and I will stop and nothing until I have you back in my arms.
The clear concern keeping search crews working around the clock.
Thank God for everybody that came together to help us.
The surreal outcome still sinking in.
And it's just amazing to be able to say that she's alive. She's going to be okay.
We can finally breathe again.
Of course, this weight has been lifted from her family. But there are still questions remaining. The Pinal County Sheriff's Office is trying to piece together how and why Jessica ended up where she did. For now, her family is waiting outside the hospital so they can see her as soon as possible. We're live in the East Valley. Erica Stapleton, 12 News.
Erica, thank you. We are also tracking breaking news out of the Southwest Valley tonight, and that's where an Avondale police officer shot and killed a man. According to investigators, police were following a suspect driving a stolen car from Avondale and ended up in a Walgreens parking lot and Estrella Mountain Ranch in Goodyear. Let's give you a live picture from that scene right now. Investigators are telling us when Avondale officers tried to arrest the man, there was a confrontation and the suspect was shot. He was taken to a nearby hospital where he later died. New from the night team, the family of a man shot and killed by police is speaking out tonight. Christopher Mellon was standing on the roof of his Scottsdale home back in November. Officers say he waved a gun at them, forcing them to open fire. Tonight, his family tells Team 12's Michael Doudna the situation was a mental health crisis years in the making. A warning to viewers, this story discusses domestic violence and suicide.
And he's going crazy, and he threw my mom's clothes out in the driveway and set them on fire.
On November 11th, 2020, panicked 911 calls.
Yes, he's lighting everything on fire, and he's kicking and punching my sister.
Scottsdale police arriving to find Christopher Mellon standing on the roof of his house, waving a gun. Officers would open fire, killing Christopher Mellon.
I don't think anyone could have cared about their kids more.
That's Dr. Christopher Mellon, the eldest son.
I saw a marked change in him after 2016.
Back then, the elder Christopher sent his 15-year-old daughter with high-functioning autism to a church camp. It is there that a criminal investigation later found that she was abused by a family friend.
That he entrusted his daughter to someone he thought he was his friend. And I saw him unravel.
Which brings us to that November day.
Can you guys hurry, please? Ma'am, I already told you we have officers en route.
His dad at a breaking point. Dr. Mellon gave him a call, hoping to calm him down.
That conversation was with a disease. It wasn't with my dad.
Even though it's mental health issues, if there's a deadly weapon involved, law enforcement has to prepare for the worst.
Andy Anderson is a former Phoenix assistant police chief and police practices expert. He says more mental health experts should be involved, but they're needed earlier.
It's the reason law enforcement has been called on these kind of situations is it's already out of control. And you find good people having the worst day of their life.
Another tragedy would soon follow, as on the day of the funeral, one of Mellon's daughters died by suicide.
How many more bodies? How much more flesh does the world want?
Their losses has Dr. Mellon pushing for change, from how mental health cases are handled by police to more support for families that are victims of abuse, all in the memory of his father.
That I think what he did was really selfish. But I love him. I'm really proud of him. And I'm sorry he had to go through that.
If you or a loved one needs help, we have resources right now at 12news.com. Also, remember, you can always call the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline or the Impact Crisis Hotline. Also, the family does have a GoFundMe to help pay for some of the expenses, like the funeral expenses. And if you'd like to help out, we have that online as well. We're in Phoenix. Michael Doudna, 12 News.
Michael, thank you. Tonight's weather alert, we've got some major changes coming to your forecast. Meteorologist Jamie Kagol is here. And Jamie, we could soon say goodbye to some nice weather that we had all weekend and hello to some rain.
Yes, changes are coming our way, and there's going to be rain and snow in the forecast, as well as some wind that we're going to be dealing with. And a lot of people get excited for the rain too. So yeah, we will trade one nice weather pattern for another nice weather pattern, I suppose. 57 degrees under clear skies right now. The winds are calm. That dew point at 16 at this moment. And overnight lows, again, nothing too terribly extreme. In fact, rather mild, teens and 20s on the plateau. Sedona 43. We'll find more of those upper 30s to mid 40s across the lower desert, and just a little bit warmer towards places like Bullhead City, Lake Havasu, and Yuma. Now, as we are looking ahead, we will be talking about some of those temperature changes coming along the way, as well as the timing and the track of this next storm. We'll take a look at rain and snow chances in the full forecast.
Thank you, Jamie. We'll see you soon. A Chandler police officer was laid to rest after losing his battle to COVID-19. Officer Tyler Britt passed away last week. His family says he got sick just before the holidays and was convinced he would be okay, but his condition worsened. And tonight, Officer Britt's family hopes their loss helps everyone understand just how serious this virus is.
You just don't know how it's going to affect you, or more importantly, how it could affect anybody else. I mean, my dad was young. He was 48.
I know that he's always going to be with us, but I want that to be carry on, not to just stop here.
There is a GoFundMe page set up to help the Britt family with unexpected costs, and we have a link for it on the 12 News app. Sadly, Officer Britt is not the only Arizonan to die of COVID-19. More than 11,000 people have died since the start of the pandemic. DHS reported 18 new deaths today and nearly 7,000 new cases. Arizona currently has the highest infection rate in the nation. Right now, the COVID vaccine is Arizona's greatest defense against the virus, and as of now, more than 270,000 people have gotten it. About 10% of those people have received both doses. Maricopa County is currently working through Phase 1B, which includes healthcare workers, teachers, first responders, and anyone over the age of 75. It was a relatively quiet night across the country as states braced for possible chaos ahead of Wednesday's inauguration. Several small protests popped up in a handful of states, with demonstrators on both sides of the political aisle showing up. Some of them were armed. Still, no violence was reported. And many are attributing the calm weekend to increased security seen at state capitals across the country, including here in Arizona. The National Guard added barbed wire and 2 layers of fencing around the Capitol complex in Phoenix. About a dozen protesters showed up to the state capitol today and yesterday, but they remained peaceful. While things are calm now, agencies are preparing for any scenario.
They're canvassing source information and they're looking at all the intelligence to put the warnings together to keep everyone safe Inauguration Day.
Arizona lawmakers are asking everyone to stay away from the Capitol this week and avoid any confrontations. In Washington, D.C., troops spent the day setting up cots that they will use to sleep on in the days leading up to President-elect Joe Biden's swearing in. More than 25,000 National Guard members are currently deployed in the district. Meanwhile, the National Mall is surrounded by miles of security fencing and street barricades. The U.S. Army Secretary says the security measures will be in place long after the inauguration. Still ahead on 12 News at 10, a Valley family is searching for answers months after a deadly hit and run killed a family member. Martin Luther King Jr. Day takes on a deeper meaning against the backdrop of cries for social justice. And a big backyard and a long life expectancy are just some of the requirements to adopt one of these guys. More on this unusual pet program starting up in Arizona. Also, a star-studded Sunday as dozens of celebrities celebrate their birthday. 12 News at 10 is coming right back. New from the night team, a Valley family is pleading for answers tonight, nearly 2 months after losing a man they all loved in a deadly hit and run. Team 12's Rachel Cole spoke with the family seeking justice.
A lot of people are missing him.
I have a picture of me and my dad when we were at the bike park wheel.
44-year-old Renee Contreras died right there at the scene.
We are hoping for closure, for justice. Our family is devastated, heartbroken. They took our brother's life.
His older sister, Lorena, expressing heartache after learning Renee crossed the street near 43rd Avenue and Indian School Road back in late November.
Why he didn't stop? Why did he stay there? We want to know why. We just want closure. We want justice.
Police say a silver SUV, possibly a Jeep Cherokee, took Renee's life. The family now hoping the driver will come forward.
Renee wasn't doing nothing wrong. All he did was crossing the road to go have a bite to eat before he called his Uber. That was it.
Regardless, they'll always remember Renee's warm spirit and positive attitude.
He brought us all together. He made sure we were always united. We were not going to have that with him no more. We'll miss him. We're heartbroken. We're devastated.
Rachel Cole, 12 News.
It's time now to get you up to speed on some of the other stories developing tonight. 1 man is dead and 6 others are hurt after an early morning shooting at a Phoenix nightclub. It happened around 5 a.m. near 24th Street and University Drive. 911 operators received several calls about people hearing gunshots and people screaming. Investigators are urging anyone with information to call Silent Witness. A Valley family is searching for a place to stay after their home caught fire. Crews were called out to Glendale near 59th Avenue and Cactus. We're told everyone inside was able to get out unharmed. Firefighters quickly knocked down the fire, and they're still investigating the cause. Arizona Game and Fish is looking for families willing to adopt an unusual pet. It will be a desert tortoise. The gentle reptiles are very quiet and personable, but Game and Fish says you'll need a backyard. Tortoises spend most of their time grazing and digging, building underground burrows to stay cool in the heat. And another requirement is they have to live in Arizona.
If you're not planning on staying here for probably close to 100 years, then this might not be the pet for you.
While the adoption process may sound daunting, Game and Fish says it's doable if you're willing to put in the effort. And if you're interested, we have a link on our website. Now we're going to bring back meteorologist Jamie Kagol. And Jamie, I know that when it's really hot here, I too wish that I could burrow under the ground and hide from the sun because it's terrible. But we've had some great weather this weekend.
We really have. We have been treated very nicely by Mother Nature, but changes, they are arriving tomorrow. The first thing you'll notice tomorrow will be the increase to the clouds, and we may still enjoy a little sunshine early on, but you're going to watch that cloud cover moving in from the north, and we will be under the clouds as we go right through Monday evening into Tuesday. Temperatures still relatively mild, but they are coming down from where we've been. We're going to find more lower 70s in the lower desert, and we'll find less of those 50s, or at least the mid and upper 50s on the plateau. What's going on out there? Well, we still have our ridge pattern for now, but it's going to begin to collapse over us. An area of low pressure coming down the west coast is going to meet up with a little disturbance, a little pulse of energy coming out of the northern Rockies. They basically will converge over the northern Baja Tuesday into Wednesday, and then move across the state by Thursday. So what does that mean for us? In the meantime, that little pulse of energy coming by, watch that cloud cover just fill in as we go through Monday. Some high country scattered showers, rather light, but then we roll into Tuesday, and you're going to watch this rain and snow lift from the southeast towards the west and the northwest, and there it is, 7, 8, 9 o'clock time frame, looking like that might be our best chance for rain on Tuesday. You'll see more scattered showers across the high country. Everything's starting to pull further and further to the west. As we get into Wednesday, we'll see a little drop in the rainfall, a little drop in the snowfall for most of the state, but still expecting some precipitation across Pima County and into southeast Arizona. Take a look at this. The valley rain chances looking pretty good for Tuesday, drops off a bit for Wednesday, and then picks up again for Thursday. That's when the storm system is expected to lift northeasterly across the state. For the high country, it picks up again on Thursday, but it will continue into Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We have another storm system coming our way, and by Sunday, it looks like everyone should see a little uptick in the rain and snow chances. But overall, through Tuesday, going into Wednesday morning, it is looking good for much of the state, including maybe about a 1/4 inch of rain around parts of the valley. For the snowfall, 1 to 4 inches, pretty widespread, and then some heavier amounts towards the White Mountains, towards the San Francisco peaks, and then getting up to the north rim there. As you check out your 7-day forecast, mostly cloudy and 52 in Flagstaff tomorrow. It is going to get windy on Tuesday, breezy again on Thursday with a couple of rounds of showers on the way for Tucson. It is going to be the best chance of rain on Thursday, but it will be a windy Tuesday for folks there and for the valley. Again, we're looking at Tuesday and Thursday for a chance at some showers, and then we're going to keep an eye on next Sunday for another round of possible rain.
All right, thank you, Jamie. Next at 10, the words of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. ring true this year as part of the social justice movement. How you can celebrate the life of the civil rights legend. And 2 of the largest lotto jackpots in American history are still up for grabs. How much they're worth and your chances of winning. That's next.
Someone was actually able to deceive me once.
To everyone's favorite Golden Girl, Betty White turned 99 years old today. The Hollywood legend's resume spans more than 7 decades, and her advice to living a long life is to stick with you. Some of her best tips include never apologize, don't dwell on mistakes, and get 8 hours of beauty sleep, 9 if you're ugly. You gotta love her. The beloved actress shares her birthday with another American legend too, Muhammad Ali. Ali is one of the most influential athletes of all time. He captivated the world with his strength, determination, and humor. But what stood out most was his impact during the civil rights movement. Ali passed away in Scottsdale in June of 2016. Many other celebrities were born on January 17th, including former First Lady Michelle Obama, Jim Carrey, Steve Harvey, James Earl Jones, and Dwayne Wade. And tomorrow is Martin Luther King Jr. Day. Even though many celebrations honoring the civil rights leader will be online, that message is just as strong.
I have a dream. We need to understand our history. We can't run from it. We shouldn't be ashamed of it. We need to understand it. For one important reason, if you don't, you're apt to repeat it.
Mel Hanna is the vice chairman of the Arizona Commission on African American Affairs. He just received the Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Living the Dream Award for his continued commitment to social justice. Hanna says the best way to honor Dr. King is to work together with others in your community, no matter their background. Still ahead on 12 News at 10, Lotto fever is heating up, how high jackpots are climbing, and your chances of winning. The jackpots just keep climbing. No one won the Powerball jackpot after last night's drawing, and that sends the top prize to $730 million. The Mega Millions cash is still up for grabs too, and that's now sitting at $850 million. Now your chances of winning it are slim. Let's talk about 1 in 302 million, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't play. Much of the money that goes into the lottery funds vital programs and services here in Arizona. If you want to test your luck, the next drawings are Tuesday and Wednesday. Thank you for putting your trust in us. Don't go anywhere, though. 12 Sports Tonight starts in 60 seconds.